Hello, I'm RetroJules. Well, the last update 3.9 has given us the ability to change and modify and personalise our tank commanders. And I was quite excited about this in the update, but a little bit disappointed that it was going to cost me hard-earned gold in the long run. Silver wouldn't have bothered me, gold kind of does because that's real money. However, thank you very much Wargaming for the 30 crew vouchers that you gave me. I can now change 30 crews out of my 53 tanks, and I'm just going to pick and choose which ones. And I thought I would start with the British, good old spiffing Goodfellow in the Cromwell Knight was my first choice. Not really sure where my Cromwell Knight crew came from. I think they came from the original Cromwell, and I put them straight in there. So, well, I don't need an American crew because all my crews are currently American. So I thought I'd make my American crew Mexican. And I've got very fond memories of the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, Playa Car, where myself and my wife got married and returned a couple of years later. And we had a really great waiter called Frank. We nicknamed him Frank Habanero, and I thought that's a really nice memory to have in my Hispanic tank. And then I decided that actually I kind of need the commander to look a bit more Hispanic. Yeah, that kind of works. Yeah, he'll do. Good looking bunch, those American commanders. But that one's got that just slightly Hispanic look for me. So, Mexican crew, done. Right, Russian. And quite fancied my first lady commander. And boy, are the Russian girls good looking. Lots of pigtails and ponytails and plaits going on. Quite partial to plaits and pigtails. Plaits or pigtails? Plaits, pigtails. Let's go pigtails. No, down and across to the left. Yes, her. She's pretty. We'll have her. And we'll change her name. And we'll have Helga as the first name. And that good, well-known Russian beetroot soup, sorry. Helga Borscht is my new T-54 commander. And she sounds really good. Right, Russian crew, done. So I thought, well, I've changed to 3 crews, let's roll one out and have a listen. So I'm rolling out the T-54, my Tier 9 Soviet medium, on a typhoon-ridden Pacific island. Haven't played this map for a long time. And I'm going to try not to talk too much through this, so you can hear Helga Borscht at her finest. Oh, well, that was short and sweet. So I'm just going to head up to the lookout point straight in front of me, and I'm going to try my damnedest not to talk over the crew, but try and keep talking as well to talk you through the game. So, oh, struggling a bit. Bit of a vantage point, just see if I can spot anyone. She sounds really good, and it's really strange actually, because it just sounds right. So used to having the American crews in all the tanks, and after a while I guess you stop listening to them. But to put this Russian crew in this Soviet tank just sounds right straight away, and I didn't expect to like it as much as I have. And I know it's going to lead to me changing quite a lot of other crews, but I'm going to make my vouchers go a really long way because I don't really want to spend real money to do it. Silver, not a problem. Anything I can earn in the game, I'm happy to spend. But when it's my real hard-earned money, I always think twice about that. Especially because I pay yearly for the game anyway, for a premium account. First kill. And I've noticed the voices are sort of more radio-like sounding now, and a little bit quieter, so I did go into the settings and turned the sound of the environment down, just so I could hear the voices that little bit clearer. Could have angled a bit more for that, really. I knew I was going to go in for a shot, but should have tried to deflect the shot coming back. But there's 4 of us here. Little wolf pack, working quite nicely. I want to get out of the way of that TD. Really, really keen to go into that T-44, but not with that TD in the back. Snatch and auto aim in the motherland. And now on the update there was a lot of audio bug fixes, and don't know if you're experiencing it, but I wouldn't say they're all gone yet. If I die, not that often just lately, I might add, but if I die and I'm watching the other tankers playing out the game, I've noticed that if you follow a TD, you don't hear its engine. The other tanks you do, but a TD, all you hear is its tracks. And arty explosions, I still don't think they're right. They don't seem to have that impact. Sometimes you only realise arty has shot close to you by visually seeing it. You don't get that almighty explosion, that earth-shattering quake that you used to get, and I really miss that, because that just, to me, adds to the dread of getting artied. So, arty hunting. And Artie's done a runner right out in the northeast. So not going to find a red square at the spawn. And with the T-54, I've got the big guns, very inaccurate. If I was going to keep the T-54, and I probably will, but I'm going to go on to the T-62A at tier 10 first. If I keep the T-54 after that, I am going to then purchase the package that would have led to the object, because that is a better gun. Same damage, more accurate. Second kill. Now the idea originally was to go in for the heavies, but I kind of got a little bit disorientated on the mini-map and got my left and right muddled up and ended up going the wrong way, but which is why I took a shot in the back. Just gonna see if I can go in and help with this T10. Don't think I can get... oh, I might get a shot on the side of the turret. Oh yes, nice shot in. I'm trying not to talk through this video, and it's really difficult. So you can hear my Russian commanderess. Job done. Actually, not a bad game. Quite pleased with that. Oh, very pleased with that. 89,000 silver, 2,400 damage, 3,300 XP. Third class mastery. How did I do overall? 4th. That's not bad. Well, that's given me a taste to go in for a French crew now. And I think I'd like a French lady commander. And, well, they're not as good looking as the Russian girls, but they're still quite pretty. Now, do I go for the typical French beret, or oh, actually no, she's quite attractive. Yeah, she'll do. And we'll change her name. Now, I always remember at school doing French lessons, Marie Claude. So I thought Claudette as the first name. And second name, well, the French are known for their wine. Although the French wine isn't as good as Australian or South African.
Let's go. We're not getting paid by the hour. Vous écrasons-les. Allons-y. On n'est pas payé à rien faire.
Oh, she's quite sharp sounding. Quite like her, actually. So this is my CDC, my French Tier 8 Premium, on Malinovka, one of the oldest and one of my favourite maps. And I'm going to try not to talk too much in this, which is really difficult for me because I've taught myself to talk right through these games and try not to leave any quiet passages. But I want you to hear my new tank crew as well as me, so I'm going to try and talk in between. So I'm going to go up for a risky bit of spotting. My tank is my tank is a little bit big for spotting, but we don't have any light tanks. Cheeky auto aim, but I paid the price. I'm really trying to talk in between her, and it's proving really, really difficult. I'm going to try and sort of narrate this staccato style. It's not going to be quite as smooth as normal. So I'm putting this video out there for you to see what I've called some of my crew commanders, and just in case you haven't got round to customizing any crews yet, you might watch this and think, actually, they sound good. And actually, in this French tank, having a French crew just sounds right. And the CDC, I don't play the CDC enough. The crew I've got in this are from my AMX 31er, which I know I'm going to be playing a lot. And actually, just while you're watching this, I'm going to talk over for a little bit. I've got the AMX 31er, which leads to the AMX 30B at tier 10. Now, I've looked at the stats, I've compared the tanks, and I don't believe that the AMX 30B is much better, if at all. From what I can tell, same penetration, same damage, fractionally faster reload, no more armour on the tank as such. So, have you got one? Have you had one? And would you recommend that I spend, what is it, 6 million silver to go from the 31er to the 30B? Is it really worth the transition? I've also got the AMX 5120, and I looked at the AMX 50B and decided that the difference wasn't worth it. Same cannon, same penetration, just decided not to. So please let me know if you have an AMX 30B as to whether it is a big improvement on the 31er or just really not worth the change. So I didn't fancy our chances on the hill. I'm trying to talk in between her, but I just never know when she's going to start talking, so I'm just going to crack on. Didn't fancy our chances in the northeast. Probably going to get a little bit overwhelmed there. So trying to help support the 2 tank destroyers.
Prête à tirer sur la cible. On a été repéré. Cible verrouillée. Cible déverrouillée.
Now, I don't know if it's my imagination, but I'm wondering if the new tank crews talk a lot more than the old American ones. I just thought in this game she talks a lot. But maybe because it's a new voice, I'm just noticing it more. Got so used to the American voices that I think after a while you just stop hearing them. Apart from, it's like we're shooting spitballs. That's the one you always picked up on, because that's when you weren't penetrating your enemy and probably getting a little bit frustrated. This game isn't looking so good. The enemy are heavily pushing down now at the northeast, down the eastern flank. We're down to 4. We've had it in this game. This isn't going to work well at all for us. But my French lady did a lot of talking for you, which was what this game was about. And I think she's always going to get the last word in too. Well, I managed to get 1 penetrating shot in that game. That's all I managed to do. This is not going to go well. Right, ramming speed. And, yeah, well, don't really care about that. So that's the French crew, which I think sound really, really good. And I really like the sound of a female voice. I think it works brilliantly. So that's my customization and personalising of an English, French and Russian and Mexican tank crew. And I'd really like to know what you're calling your crew commanders and why you're naming them that way. You know, maybe you're just giving them silly names, but also maybe you're giving them a name like my Frank Habanero that kind of means something to you as well. So do let me know what your new crews, your new commanders are called. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed the video. Keep safe, keep tanking, and I'll see you soon.